Everyone out there is interested in SpaceX or other space stocks out there right now. Some of them are hot, some of them may not be as hot down the road. So what do you invest in right now? Well, there's one particular ticker that I like. Obviously, this is just educational purposes, but I like the ticker NASA, right? And this has a ton of exposure with this the SpaceX. So if you're trying to get in SpaceX, if you're interested in the IPO, things like that, this is going to be the ticker that you're going to want to keep an eye on. Not only does it have, it holds SpaceX, but it also holds some of the best space stocks out there. And so in this video, I'm going to be covering a few different things, what it actually covers, some of the different stocks that it actually holds, and what's the strategy behind this, and much, much more. So this is issued by Space Innovators ETF. This is TEMA. So this is a pure play exposure to the space economy across rockets, satellites, and orbital infrastructure. These things are going to start to boom. These things there's going to be a lot of money flowing in these type of stocks and these plays. This is a concentrated portfolio of roughly 20 to 40 public companies plus a private SpaceX stake. So it's going to be having some of the best of the best space stocks out there. So you don't have to be picking and choosing which one. You just get this, and it's going to basically, they'll pick them all for you, put them in that ETF. So the only space theme ETF and it's the only space theme ETF with direct SpaceX exposure. So SpaceX inside an ETF. So essentially the structure of SpaceX directly through a special purpose vehicle, SPV, position 232,192 SpaceX shares, equivalent to about 147 million. So that's of May 21st, 2026. And the space valuation is approximately 1.51 trillion with a T, trillion. A SpaceX ETF without a space ETF without SpaceX is like a semiconductor ETF without NVIDIA. And how true is that? NVIDIA is the big boy. So that was essentially, you would need, we would need SpaceX involved in an ETF. And this is the one that I'm going to be highly interested in the most, and actively going to be investing in it. So what are the numbers? Revenue in 2025, 16 billion estimated. This is estimated full year revenue. Launch targets, 170 orbital launches target in 2025. Cash on hand, 3 billion. So there's a good bit of cash on hand, balance sheet. Starlink, 7.16 billion Starlink revenue. So that is a big time revenue there. And the SpaceX IPO is coming, right? So it's coming. Publicly filed, targeting a mid-year listing, and it's raised about 75 billion, potentially the largest IPO in history. Huge money coming into SpaceX. So these are the top holdings that you would find in the NASA ETF. SpaceX, ASTS, Rocket Labs, Planet Labs, PL. I've been doing a little bit of research with that stock. Very cool. SATS, EcoStar, Firefly, FLY, Aerospace. These are all very interesting space stocks. A lot of them do various different tasks, and there will be different business models based on that. But interesting. I am very interested in the space industry. This is such a cool time to be alive. And I'm telling you, this ticker is going to be the one that you're going to be wanting to hold on. Obviously, this is not financial advice. This is just educational purposes. So now, AUM and climbing. So 1.4 billion, this is the largest space ETF on the market, leapfrogged by every competitor, despite being the 6th space ETF to launch. And there is a ton of people piling in. There's a lot of inflow coming right now. Investors are voting with their capital ahead of the SpaceX IPO. Even today, it's up. I think it's up 8% right now. And then this has direct SpaceX exposure. So what are the differences between some of these other ETFs? So there are other ones. XOVR, ARKX, UFO. That's an interesting one, I thought. So that's just a traditional space basket heavy on defense, which makes sense. UFO. But to me, I think that NASA is the one. If you want the most exposure to space stocks in general, this will be the one. 39.24 cents currently, and actually right now it's actually a little bit more than that. Right now it's actually 42, so 42 bucks. And it'll change as soon as you watch this video, or later on it'll be a different price. So it's been doing well. It's been going up. The space economy is exploding. 462 billion for 2026. 2035 estimate. This is estimate 852 billion, and by 2035, 1.8 trillion is the estimate. So that's the base. This could be the bull. That's the bull case. This is the base case is so it's at least going to be a billion, a trillion potentially. So there's a lot of money flowing in space and stocks. Now I don't think this is because think back many years ago, the marijuana stocks. I mean, you can just go through different quantum. There's a lot of different kind of hype and things, but there is real business to be had in the space industry. There's just so much potential. I think this is a beginning of something just amazing, and I think a lot of these stocks are just going to absolutely just explode in revenue, and just helping out in general. Some of the things are really cool. I mean, there was once. Well, I don't want to go too deep into that. There was one. Now, I don't think this is attached to NASA, where you can actually use the sunlight, and it'll be like a flashlight. So when it's dark, it'll actually turn over. So I mean, I don't think that company exists yet, but it was just different things, the different ideas that are going to come from space in some of these stocks. It's just incredible. So where's all the growth coming from NASA? Well, 38% of it, the largest segment of the entire space economy, that's coming from satellites. And then the space infrastructure growth trajectory is going to be massive, absolutely massive, with some of these, especially satellites, going to continue to launch those. And launch cadence, 254 plus orbital launches 2024, up from 212 from the year prior. So this has continued to go up. Governments are writing checks, writing. When anytime the government is going to be writing a lot of checks. I mean, we saw what happened with, stock like something like Palantir. And as soon as you start to get some of those contracts and the government involved and interest, things will most likely, not a guarantee, go up. So there's a lot to that. And then Starlink is the engine. 7.1 billion in 2025. Starlink is now the majority of SpaceX revenue, and I think Starlink will continue to expand and get bigger and bigger and bigger. I don't think this is not a hype. Now, there's a lot of hype around SpaceX. There's a very ton of hype, and a lot of folks will say, okay, well, the IPO is going to be so high when it launches that most likely it'll correct itself from down like 50% or something. Now, it very well could, but there's so much revenue and there's so much potential for growth, even just with Starlink alone, that I don't know, is something that will happen. Again, we just don't know that. The SpaceX SPV is priced at cost, not marked to market daily. So NAV can lag the real value. So these are some of the risk. Dilution, heavy inflows can dilute the SpaceX weighing until the manager adds more private shares. The IPO lockup, a 6-month lockup on SPV holdings, means no immediate post-IPO liquidity on some of those shares. And then number 4 is a concentrated bet on a single thesis. Space is volatile and capital intensive. So that being said, let's just say they go to launch a rocket and it explodes, right? That's not going to be good. We even saw that whenever SpaceX was just testing. They're still continuing to test their rockets, and that day it wasn't a go, and you saw some of these space stocks just go straight down. Now they climb back up, but that's what's going to happen. It's going to be risky. It's going to be volatile, and obviously this is not something that this is a ticker where you want to hold for a long time. This isn't something where you just want to just scalp, here and there. There will be ups and there will be downs, but I think NASA has a big time there is a big potential for this ticker, this ETF, and I will be interested in this for the long term. And so I will be exposed if I don't want to be picking, and I don't really want to be picking some of these because I just don't know which ones will stick and which ones won't. And so the best thing to do, just like the S&P 500, the SPY, you just get in that and you just hold it. You just buy, and you just continue to hold. And if you want to see the charts, this is the chart of NASA right now, and this is just on the 30-minute. But one tool that I love with this is obviously Gravity Zone. And so Gravity Zone is a very unique indicator that I love. It just detects volume at specific prices. So you saw how this went sideways here. This was the last signal that we got from it. So a very nice signal. There's a lot of volume right here around 32 to 37. Now this will continue to happen. This will continue to go sideways. It'll find pockets. It'll find volume pockets. But I really do like this ETF right now. Right now on the daily, this is what it looks like. So really just one pullback so far. So if we get another a pullback or two, I will be continued to be interested in this and just get some of these dips on the way down for eventually that I believe will continue to go up. Just based on all the exposure that it has on some of these stocks. So what do you guys think? Are you interested in NASA? Is this an ETF that you would be interested for your long-term portfolio? Or is this something that you're going to say, okay, once SpaceX is here, all the hype will be gone and everything's going to go down. You know, this is going to be a crash. Everything's going to go down. None of these stock make sense at their value. Let me know, because it's an interesting perspective. There's a side for both sides. Obviously, there's obviously risk involved too as well. SpaceX or space stocks in general are still, while they have been around for quite a bit, there still is a lot of risk involved with it. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Make sure you like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.